Hey guys, Sinister Moon, and this will be a video response to Retro 1989-08, however he wants to pronounce it or say it or whatever. The video is called Classic Games, Will Consoles Be Obsolete? Future Gaming. No, they will not be obsolete. And I can tell you why. The reason why is when I'm looking at the article for this on live thing, one thing that they do tell you is that you don't actually need the console in order to play these games. In fact, they play, I think it was Burnout Paradise, through an older laptop and a Mac. Now, when I think older laptop, I'm thinking something like 233 megahertz Pentium 2 with like 128 megabytes of RAM and like a really shitty onboard graphic accelerator. So yeah, to see a game like Burnout Paradise play flawlessly on a laptop like that, I don't think that's possible. And even if like it can play a bigger game like that on like a slightly newer laptop, maybe like something over like a gig or so, maybe like an older Pentium, like a fast Pentium 3 or a slower Pentium 4, something like that, they're gonna have to use a lot of compression. And compression can be pretty fell sometimes. Like you'll think just by first glance that you're getting everything, but you're really not. One console that does very good with the compression is actually the Xbox 360, because it fits everything that a PS3 can fit on some of the Blu-ray disc onto a DVD 9 disc. So that's a lot of compression there. We're talking like hundreds of megabytes worth of compression, and they pulled off really well. Of course, you know, the 360 can't reproduce some of the games that the PS3 does, and that's just due to, you know, having more space on the Blu-ray disc for more textures and stuff like that. But like with this online thing, on live I should say, I think there's a lot of fail aspects that could really make this thing bomb really bad. And like the first thing that it is like you gotta think, are the bigger game companies gonna sign on with this? You know, because like I mean, say Capcom signed on, that could be pretty good. You know, because like I mean, if I could play games like Resident Evil 5, like I mean, I'm pretty much done with that game already. Like I mean, it's been collecting dust for quite a few days now. You know, so like if there was games like that by Capcom and stuff like that, like really big title releases, when the games actually come out, then yeah, that would be really cool. But I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that doesn't really get new releases, like on the actual day that they come out. Excuse me. It's probably going to be, you know, a little bit after came out, and that's not going to be cool. Things that enter my mind that are not a good selling point for me is the actual console itself. It says you don't need it, but it's only about this big. There's no way that they could fit, like a processor would take up like a big chunk of space, and that's not including the memory, the onboard graphics, and everything else that you need to make those things work. So, and I mean, when I'm looking at the box right here on the form, the console box thing, it almost appears that it has a couple of USBs on the front of it, maybe to charge the controller, and that's going to be something else that really is a selling point for me. If it doesn't have some kind of some kind of battery that I can recharge, like in my PS3 controller, then I don't want it. Those diodes on the front, of course, take electricity, and if they're going to constantly be on all the time, that's going to drain your batteries even more, and I don't want to go through a bunch of AA's or AAA's or whatever it is. I mean, a couple AA's is only 3 volts, you know, so I mean, if you've ever put a 9-volt battery on your tongue and got that 9-volt zap before, it's not really a lot, and 3 volts is, you know, that's a third of that. So, you know, like, I mean, it's, I don't know. I need to know more about that. And I also need to know more about what games exactly are going to be on this thing and how often the updates are. And I'm not too fond of paying an online fee every month. That's one of the reasons why I don't have a 360, is because I don't want to pay to play online every month, because I feel that games pretty much every game that's made nowadays utilizes online. So I think they should just give you the damn online. You're paying for the games, you're paying for the console, you're paying for the internet. I don't think that there should be another fee or service that you have to have in order to play, you know, what they're giving you to play. I think that's stupid. I think it's a ripoff that 360 does that, and you know, this console here, this On Live, is just all about that. So I don't. It's not a good selling point for me. And another thing is, it doesn't. I haven't read anything yet if it how good the HD is on it and stuff like that. And I mean, there's just a lot of things that my PS3 already does better than what this thing is claiming to do. So for me, it'd have to be really cheap, and it would have to have really good games. And I think those are the biggest selling points, you know. But you got to think, you're not going to get any of the games, like you're not going to get any exclusives from the Nintendo or, you know, from the Sony or from the Xbox. It's not going to happen, because that would be incredibly dumb on their behalf to be like, yeah, here's our Halo series, and here's our Resident, you know, here's this and that and whatever, you know. It's not going to happen. So, is this thing going to even have exclusives? And if they do, they better be fucking good, you know, because you know. Anyhow, this is actually the third time I've recorded this video. The last two I end up blabbing on for about 15 minutes each time. So I'm going to try to just cut this video off here, and I'm going to say, to answer your question, will it change the future of gaming? Not really, no. That's it.